Welcome to the first session of Fundamentals of Technology. To begin with the session, let us understand few instructions. You can pause or slow down and re-listen at points if you feel like understanding the concepts, examples, diagrams or videos. Let us start this session with a cartoon. The invention of wheel has been one of the significant milestones in human evolution. So is the technology. In this cartoon, we see the lady is asking, "What is that round thing?" She is saying, "Oh, this is not a wheel. It is called a CD-ROM, is it?" They look like a Stone Age era people and they're wondering what the round object is. Technology has evolved over a period of time and computer technology saw major developments in 19th century. In this session, let us learn about fundamentals of technology. We will begin with introduction of information technology fundamentals, definition of system, computer system, input processing output cycle, input processing output and storage devices. Further, we will also learn about software and hardware components. And we will conclude the session with some interesting facts. The definition of system goes like this. A system is a set of interrelated and interdependent components that work together in an organized manner to achieve a common goal by accepting inputs, processing them, and producing outputs. Be it a music system, a political system, or a workplace system, every system has its own set of components, functions, and a boundary. In a music system, there is a song played. Where is the song coming from? The song needs to be recorded, given music, and then stored on the system, which is played as an output on the speaker. All these things needs to be done logically. So in a system, there is a systematically process of input, processing and output. This is what happens in the music system. We will not be able to see the song, but we are able to hear it. So the song is mixed with the music, systematically processed, stored and played to be given as an output. Let us look into the definition of a computer system. A computer is an electronic device which has input, processing and output. It takes the data as an input, processes the data and converts the data into information. There are various input devices which support the input, data activity processing and then multiple output devices. Let us take the example to understand how this works with the help of input, processing and output cycle model. This diagram shows how input can be given through different input devices like keyboard, scanner, mouse or a head-mounted device which is also called as a speech synthesizer. Data given through these input devices is passed to the central processing unit. Different types of data like textual, numeric, audio, image, command, scan code, QR code, barcode can be given through these input devices. Like we are giving alphabets and numbers through keyboards, a voice or an audio over the microphone, commands or clicks through mouse, and with a scanner we can give images. So whatever is the type of input data given, it goes into the central processing unit. CPU, the central processing unit, is the brain of the computer. It comprises of arithmetic and logic unit, control unit and memory unit. The memory unit has primary memory and secondary memory. It also has some registers. When an input is given, it gets processed by the respective unit and gives output through the output device. CPU controls all operations on the computer system. The output device could be a printer where we could print it as evidence, or maybe we will see the data first on the monitor, or it could be a speaker if it is an audio file. We might also have other type of output devices. Now when we see this diagram, it looks like activities of input, processing and output seems to happening in a sequential manner on a personal computer. But in reality, these activities might happen on multiple devices located at different places. Let us take few real-time examples to understand. In a bank, input activities are happening at multiple locations by different users. You can see here there is a customer who is trying to withdraw the money from the ATM machine, or you can see a customer who is trying to know the balance, visiting an ATM for money deposit, or it might be simple kiosk where a customer is trying to perform a withdrawal activity, deposit, or whatever action they want to do. There might be customers who are at the bank at this point of time. Now, at any given point of time, all these customers might be doing different activities, and the input devices there might be an ATM machine, a computer, a mobile, or a laptop, or any other kiosk which is set up in the bank through which the input instructions are fed to the computer. Now, what happens is, based on which the input instructions are fed to the computer, or better say as the information system, what happens is the data and information is validated and the activities are performed. All these inputs are in not one place, but all this input is going to one centralized place. That centralized place can be the bank server where processing is mainly occurring. In the diagram, based on the inputs given, output activities occur in response. We know that in bank, the customers, ATMs are all in different locations. These activities are supported through a well-established systems network. Till now, we did not discuss about network. Network is making all these things possible. The data which is going through input devices to the bank server is getting validated, processed, and coming back to the respective kiosk. Data is moving through multiple networks. When we look at this process, we clearly understand input, output, and processing need not happen in one place or on one set of device. It might be scattered and possible to do this through a connected set of systems, what we call as network. Today, global businesses are connected through network and business activities are transacted. Technology convergence has made it possible to integrate all such activities on single device. The best example is the smartphone. With the help of smartphone, we can give the input and the activities are performed quickly within few seconds, and the output is coming in the form of a message or a mail confirmation or transaction status. In the next example of travel and tourism industry, let us take an activity like ticket reservation or booking. It could be anything from a ticket reservation for traveling, where we quickly give instructions on an app in mobile. We check options, go to the booking and make payment, and get the confirmation of ticket booking through a message. All this is possible with the help of a single app which integrates activities like booking, payments, and confirmation. To process the activities or transactions, we need networking. Phone is connected to the service provider, and it also is connected in network to the banking application in the background, which enables the payment integration, and then it updates the status by giving a confirmation message or a mail to the customer. So the input, processing, and output activities are occurring multiple times to and fro from the customer to the travel agency to the bank, and from there back to the customer in this whole process. Multiple input devices are used in business sectors. Some of these input devices are specifically designed and are exclusively used in that sector only. In general, we see these input devices like a keyboard, a mouse, scanner or a barcode reader, joystick, touchpad, touch panel, webcam, OMR, optical mark reader, or MICR, what we call as magnetic ink character recognition, speech synthesizer, or a scanner which can take the image. Input varies in all these input devices, and based on that the processing occurs. Now in the next example, we will discuss a healthcare setup and the input devices used in the healthcare industry. We see in this diagram input devices which are ready to scan or read or understand the health issues or report or diagnose the set of activities required in a hospital setup. We also see multiple devices that are connected here to facilitate the whole process. To the right side of the diagram, there are lights falling on particular devices enabling the process or facilitating the activity. Every component here in this setup plays an important role in capturing the data, processing the data or reflecting the data, which is very important for doctors, nurses and medical professionals. In the next slide, what you see, let me ask, how many types of keyboards have you seen? How many of these can you identify? There might be keyboards which you have commonly witnessed like a gaming keyboard, or probably some of you would have seen the virtual projection keyboard, or maybe you would have also seen a keyboard with different language letters printed on the keys. These days we do not need a particular language keyboard because we can have a small interface application which could translate it on the computer system in spite of the keyboard being a common English language keyboard. This is also happening on our mobile keypads. Most of the times we commonly come across the keyboard with 102 or 103 keys with alphabets, number keys, special keys, command keys and some other set of keys which are specially designed for particular activity. So we understand there could be a keyboard which is exclusively designed for that particular purpose. Mouse is a commonly used input device. We usually come across a single button mouse, double button mouse, or maybe you would have also come across a trackball mouse. If you are a game lover or game player, you also would have seen a fancy colored gaming mobile mouse which is mostly used in the game zones only. Mouse is used to give command instructions, pointing, dragging, clicking, and it is limited for these inputs. Can we do something else in the mouse? Not much beyond this. Going forward, let us look at different types of scanners. A scanner is an input device used to capture text, images or documents from paper and convert them into digital form that can be stored, edited or shared on a computer. Flatbed scanners which can scan normal data, sheet-fed scanners where you must insert the sheet to scan in, and in drum scanners, images passed through or inserted through a large sheets of drawing or for printing purposes after scanning the image. There is also a negative scanner. In the negative scanner, usually a photo film is inserted and it can read that negative or photo film. We have book scanner where the book can be placed and it will read or scan contents in the book. And these days, audio enabled scanners are available which can scan the audio input. Iris scanner and fingerprint scanners are specifically for biometric reading. An iris scanner is a biometric device that captures the unique iris patterns of the person's eye for identification or authentication. Fingerprint scanners take fingerprints, or iris scanners which can take the retina as the biometric input. This is the reason during social security process verification like Aadhaar card or any other particular documentation, they try to take our iris or fingerprints as the biometric input data for the individual. We also have handheld portable scanners which are used for multiple purposes like reading a barcode or scanning a QR code, or maybe it can read any other type of data which has already been predefined to read it. Multi-purpose readers which can enable the reading in a warehouse or attendance purpose, or even some library books or any barcodes, scanners play an important role today in reading and recording data quickly, enabling faster transactions. Let us look into how all the data which is going into the computer is getting processed in the central processing unit. CPU, the central processing unit, is the brain of the computer. Its main function is to process data and control all the operations of the computer system. The CPU processes instructions, performs calculations, and controls the overall functioning of a computer system. How does a processor look like? Usually, people often confuse the cabin next to the computer as the CPU. But in reality, the CPU is a small chip which is embedded on the motherboard. That hardly might be a size of a small matchbox or maybe lesser than that. The CPU connects multiple services. These are mainly processing services like graphical card, network card, sound card, a RAM memory, fetching data from memories through memory management, and connects all these process execution through a multiple devices integrated on the motherboard. Let us now discuss output devices. Output devices are used to present processed information in a usable form such as text, images, audio or video through a printer, monitor, headphone or projector. A monitor, also called as Visual Display Unit (VDU), is an output device that displays information from a computer in visual form. Monitor instantly throws what is the process inside the computer as an output. Today we have specifically designed monitors for different purpose. You might see a monitor inside a hospital is very different from the monitor which is used in an office or a house, or a monitor which is used in an FM channel to see the songs list, or a TV channel, or a monitor or a kiosk which is designed for an ATM machine. Huge monitors or videos at railway station counters are used to display train arrivals and departure timings. Point of display or point of sale display are used to show transaction details to customers, which are widely used in retail stores, supermarkets and restaurants. All these vary in sizes. These visual display units vary in sizes and basically show output on the screens. We also have printers where we can take hard copy evidence of the printout. Headphones where we can listen to the audio, or maybe if a speech synthesizer, or even if we can listen to the voice. We have projectors which can project the image on the surface, and all of these give different types of output. After understanding input, process and output devices, let us learn about storage devices. Storage devices are hardware components used to store data, information and programs either temporarily or permanently for business and personal use. Types of storage devices. Primary storage, which is called as the main memory, consists of RAM, random access memory, which is a temporary and volatile memory. It also consists of ROM, read-only memory, which is permanent and non-volatile, storing the startup instruction required for booting of the computer system. Secondary storage devices like hard disk drive, which is called as HDD, used to store large capacity memory. It is used in offices to store business data, accounts and reports. SSD, solid state drive, which is usually faster than HDD and is used in modern business computers for quick data access and transfer. USB flash drive, like a pen drive, portable storage device, is used to data transfer and backups for smaller data volumes. Optical discs like CD, DVD, Blu-ray, which are used for data distribution and backups. Memory cards, which are used in cameras, mobile devices and POS systems. And we also have cloud storage in modern business use, used for online storage over the internet for data sharing, backup and remote access. Some of the examples include Google Drive, OneDrive, Dropbox. We would have seen all of the above storage devices. We also use cloud storage on our mobile. But for business entities, the storage space needed is huge. So a cloud is a storage space which is virtually located in a different place other than the business center. Let us take an example of this data centers like Google, which uses to store its data. In this diagram, we see Google's cloud data centers that are located in different parts of different continents. Google is one of the largest data storage provider. Its business clients are across globe and needs huge storage. So it cannot store the data in one place, and it also needs high security for data. So they design data centers with high security and processing abilities in different zones. You can see the places where the data centers are located. This information is taken latest from the Google Cloud Centers, and you can also see some of the upcoming cloud centers in the next diagram and how they are enabling the data movements. Now the next diagram what is coming up is Google Data Center, and usually these data centers are located around waterbeds and it has high security provisions, and the right side diagram what you see is also a representation of how large storage structures are located inside these data centers. They are racked on huge hubs and connected with strong networks. Big organizations like banks, email servers, or hospitals with multiple branches might need to store data in different places, and they might also have large amount of data. Like in case of a bank, millions of customers' data needs to be stored, processed, retrieved as and when transactions occur. Let us now know more about printers. There are different types of printers. Today, one of the common printer we see at the residential requirements or individual requirements could be a DeskJet or a simple inkjet printer. We have different types of printers which are used for different purpose. DeskJet, inkjet, laserjet printers might be used for small to medium requirements. What if we can print a 3D material, something like a mold chair in the diagram? You can see a person is trying to print a structure which is shown in the diagram. It is getting printed, and what could be the input material in this printer? The structure's component itself could be the input material. There are different types of printers which are designed in the world today with a 3D help. We have 3D printers. In the picture what you see is one of the world's largest 3D printer. You can see people are standing on the other side of the exhibition and they are all excited to see how this printer functions. The printer is in action. You can see how big it is when compared to the human size. Bangalore had the first 3D printed post office. Imagine you can just build the wall structures in few hours, assemble it with a block structure. You can select the texture, colors and designs what you like and just finish the project in few minutes. Some of the smaller infrastructures could be quickly built with the help of 3D building blocks like this. So the material what goes into that varies based on what needs to be built. Now, like how we print on the paper material, printers also have a quick ability to drive options like color finishing and multiple other actions. 3D printers are one of the most trending devices industries today. We also have a TED Talk where this fashion designer Danit Pelek was so excited to print her day-to-day clothes. Design it by herself, and she has researched and evolved with the concept where she said it could be done instantaneously by selecting the design the user wants. Please watch this TED Talk to understand how individuals can customize their own clothing. With such printing advancements, we see fashion is getting a new phase with instant fashion printing technologies. Till now, whatever we discussed, we understood hardware is a set of devices or components which are visible. We listed and discussed various input devices, output devices and storage devices. There might be different devices like hospital or a device which is used exclusively to scan human body like an MRI scanner. In this diagram, the human body itself is going as the data to be scanned. So there might be a different input device which we have not seen in general situation till now. So we need to understand there might be a lot of other input and output devices which might not be visible or understood by us, but they are used in that specific field itself. We shall now discuss more about software and hardware. When we talk about software, there are two particular types of software. One is the system software and the other one is an application software. A system software is a software or a set of instructions which is useful particularly for the system to enable other application installations. Application software is something which goes and resides on the system software. The system software is the fundamental software, and the application software is the software which is residing or dependent on the system software. We have many application softwares which we use for different purposes, like we have MS Office, which has Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and many more applications. MS Office still has a lot of other applications, or it might be a web browser for browsing internet. With the invention of smartphones today, we see smaller applications which are designed with the help of latest software technologies to enable different kinds of applications or tasks. All these softwares need different types of hardwares to function. Hardware refers to the computer's tangible components. They help in storing, delivering, or running the written instructions provided by the software. They're all physical parts. Till now, we have understood hardware and software. We understand how they are different. The hardware is tangible while the software is intangible. Hardware provides instructions and enables functions, while software is actually the code which is designed to perform as per instructions. It executes the task as instructed by the software. Hardware is made up of electronic components and software is written in the computer code language. In case of hardware, you can add more devices, while in case of software, we call it as installation process. To conclude, we understood till now there are different types of input, output, storage, and processing devices. We also understood what is a system and a computer system. Let us check some interesting facts. These interesting facts will enable you to update with the current affairs of hardware and software industry. Now all this information is latest and verified. Anhui Precision Industry is the world's largest computer components manufacturer. Apple is the world's largest tech hardware company and world's largest company by market cap. Singapore is the world's largest exporter of electronic components, followed by Taiwan and China. Top computer manufacturing companies in the world are Lenovo, HP and Dell, Apple. They also call it as Big Five. Five biggest IT companies are Alphabet, Amazon, Apple, Meta and Microsoft. Big players in software and hardware market are Microsoft, Google from Alphabet and Apple. Salesforce are highlighted for its strong customer satisfaction and AI focus. NVIDIA leads tech giants by market cap due to its AI hardware dominance alongside key players like Oracle, SAP and Amazon. Few references from this session. And let us now conclude the slide taking a quick recap in the next slide. Hope you enjoyed the session and understood more about why and how technology is playing an important role and how all these functionalities and devices are contributing to simplifying the business processes. Happy learning and see you again in the next class. Thank you.